Now on Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
On the air with breaking news. 9 months after Romir Talley's death, the police officer involved has just been identified. What we're learning about that officer.
Plus, the region's largest school district working to get every student their own device. Tonight, the plan just unveiled by Pittsburgh Public Schools.
And teenage entrepreneurs determined to keep their business going. The warning that helped them start doing it by the book.
Pittsburgh's Action News 4 begins with breaking news.
That breaking news tonight, a major development in the death of a man who exchanged gunfire with police in Wilkinsburg last December and died. The name of the officer who shot and killed him has been released. This comes nearly 9 months after Romir Talley's death.
Let's get straight to Pittsburgh's Action News 4 reporter Kylie Walker. She's live tonight. And Kylie, while Wilkinsburg Council President released the name, it's important to note the officer has not been charged with a crime.
Shannon, that is correct. Tonight, the Wilkinsburg Borough Council releasing new information into the death investigation of 24-year-old Romir Talley. Council President Pamela Macklin naming Officer Robert Gowans as the Wilkinsburg police officer investigators say shot and killed Romir Talley back in December.
Tonight, I decided that's it. You know, we need to step up to the plate, as you might say. And we need to put pressure on the DA to close the investigation, finish it and and so that the families have the information they need.
Today, Allegheny County District Attorney Stephen Zappala weighed in on the investigation, saying in part, quote, "No matter the circumstances surrounding this death, the public deserves a thorough explanation." The Allegheny County Police Department investigated the shooting death of Talley. Information released in December shows witnesses said that Talley fired a gun at police before they returned fire. His family speaking directly to the council tonight, disputing what police say.
I know one thing. He didn't shoot at a cop. This is killing us, and we just need closure. And I'm so glad you did tell us something today, and I appreciate it all.
And community members asked council members tonight why the mayor, Marita Garrett, did not release the identity of this officer. The mayor telling us tonight that she did not reveal the identity of Officer Gowans because of the ongoing investigation. She adds that she, Macklin, and another council member were a part of an email where they learned the Officer Gowans' identity on December 22nd. Macklin told us tonight that she did not see the email that the mayor says that she received. We do know tonight that Officer Gowans, was placed on administrative leave on December 23rd, but the council is unsure whether he is still with the force.
All right, well, Kylie, before you go, the DA brought up the issue of body cameras. So do Wilkinsburg police have those? Do they have dash cams in their cars?
Well, investigators said that police, the body cams and dash cams were not in use by the Wilkinsburg Police Department at the time of this incident. Again, this was back in December. But I asked the council tonight, and they said that they are working on getting body cams and dash cams for the department. Live in Wilkinsburg, Kylie Walker, Pittsburgh's Action News 4.
All right, Kylie, thank you. A reminder tonight that Officer Gowans has not been charged in Romir Talley's death. Pittsburgh's breaking news team will bring you the latest developments on the Talley case as we learn more. You can read tonight's story on WTAE.com.
Pittsburgh Public Schools striving to be what administrators are calling a one-to-one device district, meaning that all 23,000 students attending city schools will have a computer device for distance learning. In tonight's webinar, administrators explain they've made major adjustments in the technology infrastructure to support the deployment of computer devices to all students. But since they don't have enough computers yet for the one-on-one, they will prioritize distribution, they say, based on need. So students who have a school-issued device from last year need to exchange it for a new device. But they're also asking families with children in grades 2 to 12 that can leverage their own personal devices to do so for now until the back-ordered devices arrive. From August 31st, teachers will guide students to get familiar with the Schoology platform and Microsoft Teams they'll be using for their online classes. And by mid-September, the district is planning on live instruction 5 days a week. The district will help provide internet access to families in need, and families can begin to pick up their devices beginning tomorrow morning at Pittsburgh Classical, Oliver, Westinghouse, and SciTech.
In the Penn Hills School District, the school board met tonight to discuss its reopening plans. The district is offering 3 options for families: a hybrid schedule with students split into groups A and B. They would alternate in-person and virtual learning days. Families also have the option of 100% online learning. And lastly, Penn Hills is offering a cyber academy, which is different from its traditional online learning. The school board president says she'd like to bring in a special team to conduct screenings like temperature checks to make sure students are healthy.
We have this team come in here and actually see what's coming into our school instead of relying on the parents that aren't going to be able to do the job of taking temperatures and knowing COVID. When you have a special company that will actually watch the kids and that and bring them into the schools, that we know that the people are safe.
School is set to begin August 25th.
Well, as colleges and universities also prepare for students to return to their campus, many are turning to technology for help, including the Community College of Beaver County. The school is using the Waitlist Me app for its students. It's much like one you would use to get in line for a restaurant, for example, but instead, you would get in line for admissions, and all you have to do is pull into a parking spot at the admissions building, and then you'll log in and follow the instructions.
Whoever they need to see is available, and we'll shoot them a text, bring them up, and then walk them over to that office.
I'm waiting for an advisor so I can register for my fall classes.
School leaders say the process is quick, and the Waitlist Me app can be accessed through the school website. But before using it, students have to use another app, Campus Clear, which is a health screening app.
Well, 5 more Port Authority employees have tested positive for COVID-19 since last week's update, bringing the total number of employee cases to 37. Among the new cases, 3 bus drivers who work out of the Port Authority's Ross Garage, a Port Authority police officer, and a bus driver who works at the Port Authority's West Mifflin Garage.
Let's take a look now at the latest coronavirus numbers. The Allegheny County Health Department reporting 70 new cases from 1,200 tests performed between July 15th and August 4th. The County Health Department says 5 more people have died from coronavirus and 9 others have been hospitalized. While the case count overall is going down along with the percent positive rate, Allegheny County leaders say they will not be easing up on restrictions. County Chief Executive Rich Fitzgerald said as schools and universities reopen this month, it creates a whole host of new close contacts and potential to spread the virus.
It's really going to be all of us. All of us are challenging our teachers, our professors, our staff, our kindergarten students up through our university students to all continue to do the things we know we have to do.
Meantime, officials say they're still watching restaurants. Officials acknowledge limitations on indoor dining has led to a lot of unhappy owners, and Fitzgerald encourages people to keep supporting restaurants as much as possible. That said, the number of new cases tied to bars and restaurants from the last contact tracing report has been cut in half.
But these restaurant owners say they want a seat at the table, saying they have reservations about the governor's plan. They plan to rally again tomorrow morning in Bethel Park against the 25% capacity cap on occupancy because of the pandemic.
We're not threatening anybody. All we're doing is trying to pleading to the governor to try to understand where we're coming from, what's going on with this industry.
They say they want the Governor Tom Wolf to let them run at 100% capacity with 6 feet social distancing. They'd like to meet Governor Wolf face-to-face to make their case. Governor Wolf's office says he has not gotten a request to meet yet, but is open to having a conversation to discuss the current mitigation efforts. Well, across the region, Beaver County reports 8 new COVID-19 cases. Butler reports 9, Washington County 12, and Westmoreland County 11 new cases. No additional deaths in those counties. Looking farther out now, new case counts in the single digits. Greene County reporting no new cases today. Altogether, Pennsylvania added 705 cases, the statewide total reaching more than 115,000.
Our main revenue comes in through our admissions, and we have no admissions.
Trouble for the Pittsburgh Zoo and PPG Aquarium. Zoo leaders say they average about 5,000 to 6,000 people a day but now they're barely seeing 2,000. Add to that, 1/3 of the workforce has been laid off, with more cuts coming. The zoo already faces a $4.3 million shortfall for low attendance during May and June, and they're bracing for more of the same in July and August. Right now, they're reaching out to local foundations to supplement money already from the National CARES Act, and they will create several drive-through events this year for visitors, allowing them to stay inside their personal vehicles.
Pittsburgh's action weather, a quiet night in the Pittsburgh region. Beautiful shot right there. I don't know if there's such a thing as a perfect day, but Chief Meteorologist Mike Harvey, maybe today was it.
It was very, very close to being perfect out there. High temperatures for tomorrow will be in the low 80s. We'll have more on the rest of the week's forecast and what you can anticipate for the weekend. That's coming up in just a few minutes.
Teenage businessmen determined to keep their business open.
I can't just sit in the house all day. On a nice day, I can't.
How these young entrepreneurs turned a warning from police into inspiration.
And have you heard about this? An overdue book makes its way back to the library. Finally, more than 4 decades to the day it was checked out. How the borrower saved a fortune on late fees.
And a Kodak moment on Wall Street for the photography company, now less than picture perfect. The federal investigation into Kodak.
I want to get back to our breaking news tonight. Wilkinsburg City Council confirming the name of the police officer who shot and killed a man back in December. Council president says Officer Robert Gowans shot and killed 24-year-old Romir Talley. Gowans has not been charged with a crime. The Allegheny County Police Department investigated the shooting, and police say Talley fired 1 round at Gowans, who returned fire, striking Talley 7 times. But Talley's family disputes that. Again, Officer Gowans has not been charged in this shooting.
While many businesses have taken a hit during this pandemic, others have been booming. Some in real estate say the coronavirus is pushing younger homebuyers out of renting in the city and into buying their first homes. For many young homebuyers, COVID-19 is making the green space of the suburbs more attractive. First-time homebuyer applications jumped 20% in June compared to that same month the year before, according to CoreLogic, a company that analyzes business statistics.
The value of the city to us was being around all the people, being able to go to all the restaurants and the culture, like the museums and the plays and everything. And so you remove all of that, it's difficult to justify paying the rent, being in a small confined space, and having no access to being outdoors by yourself.
According to a recent Forbes magazine report, Pittsburgh saw a 90% year-over-year change in purchase rate locks, which is when borrowers apply for a mortgage and lock in the current interest rate.
Photography company Kodak is reportedly under federal investigation now after U.S. Senator Elizabeth Warren raised questions about insider trading. According to the Wall Street Journal, the company received a $765 million federal loan to launch a new division called Kodak Pharmaceuticals, sending its stock up more than 2,700% last week after Kodak announced the loan the day before the official announcement. Some executives also got stock options a day before the loan announcement. Kodak says the timing was coincidental and the early announcement was miscommunication. Kodak Pharmaceuticals is set to eventually produce as much as 25% of the active ingredients for generic medications in the U.S.
Well, they aren't even old enough to get a driver's license, but they're learning a valuable lesson about business. Tonight, hear from the 13-year-old who's still in business after overcoming a bureaucratic hurdle.
What's your name, sir? Zaire Jones. What you doing out here, Mr. Jones?
State Representative Ed Gainey posted a video on social media telling Zaire Jones' story. The 13-year-old takes a cooler full of cold drinks and sells them on the sidewalk.
Because one day I was selling water and it was like the end of the day. And so the police had came, it was 2 black cops. And so they was like, yeah, y'all can't sell over here, y'all gonna have a permit. And so
how y'all doing?
I was like, I needed a, I was like, how would you need to be to get a permit?
Zaire figured out how to get a permit.
Show me what type of water you got up in here.
We got Gatorade,
okay.
Water, tea.
Okay,
Some days
okay.
we might have pop.
There we go. See people buying water right now. That's beautiful, man.
And kept selling those cold drinks.
See, that's grown man stuff. You went and got your permit.
We caught up with some of Zaire's young business partners.
It feels good because we was out here all day working every day mostly.
Since hearing their story, members of the community have been cheering on the boys and supporting their enterprise.
I had a guy that they spun back and they gave me a whole pack of water, which is real. It felt good that knowing that the community support us.
They all say they enjoy making some money, but they all have different ideas of what to do with it.
I just want to save my money.
Smart young man saved that money. The young businessmen are out selling those cold drinks at the corner of Walnut Street and Swissvale Avenue in Edgewood most hot days.
All right, this story, an overdue library book makes its way back to the Monroeville Library, finally, 43 years to the day it was checked out. The library says the book was taken out on August 4th, 1977 and returned yesterday, August 4th. The library says someone actually placed the book in the county bookmobile and it finally made its way back to Monroeville. Listen.
We're thinking probably someone was cleaning out during their COVID time, cleaning out the house and found it on a bookshelf and thought, I'll just send it back where it came from.
You know, more people should do this. The Monroeville Library has been fine-free since last year, so the borrower did not have to pay a dime in those late fees, which is a pretty good thing because a 43-year-old late fee on this book would have cost, about $1,569.50. All right, is it still too soon to think about Halloween? All new tonight. Work is underway on a brand new scare house in a brand new location. Organizers shared this photo on Facebook. They say crews have been working on their largest project ever. They add that the new COVID protocols and safety standards will be posted soon, along with all the new details for the 2020 season. Scare House previously operated in Etna for 12 seasons.
As Isaias barreled up the East Coast, at least 9 people, including a 5-year-old Philadelphia girl with autism, have died in the storm. Many people are still waiting for floodwaters to recede. The storm pushed down trees, damaged homes, destroyed power lines. Millions are still in the dark at this hour. Now let's turn to Chief Meteorologist Mike Harvey tracking our local forecast.
And Mike, we could see some showers tomorrow?
A couple of showers out there. Mostly sunny. We'll also keep it mostly sunny and hot on Monday with a high temperature of 90 degrees. Best chance for our next rain will be Tuesday and Wednesday.
All right, Mike, thank you. The Penguins now 1 game away from elimination. The team talks about tonight's collapse against the Canadiens. And from growing up in South Park to playing on Pittsburgh's North Shore, the South Hills native facing his childhood team tonight.